Hi church, happy Friday and welcome to today's digital devotion. So we are kicking off a new sermon series on Sunday, Scriptures That Pop, and that is a play on the idea that we are using pop artists, specifically some very well-known female pop artists and their song lyrics, to mash them up with scripture and hear those stories that we are familiar with in a new way when we realize that those song lyrics actually match up really well with stories in the Bible.
Amazingly
Probably something
well.
we've never thought about before. I'm really excited for this because when Jacob and I were planning it, we were having so much fun thinking of which stories in the Bible pair well with which pop artists. And you know, it's really amazing to me. A lot of the stories that we're going to be, well, maybe all of the stories that we're going to be doing in this series, you're familiar with. You've heard us preach on them before, or you've heard them for years growing up. They're not obscure stories of the Bible. The one that Jacob's taking first this week is the story of Ruth.
The book of Ruth, yeah.
Yeah. But what's so fun about the Bible is every time you read those stories, depending on the context of your life, the context of the world, even just the way that it's presented by the preacher or the music that accompanies that scripture that day, you can come up with a completely different theme. You can walk away with a different takeaway. And so that's something really exciting. And that's something that we're hoping happens with this series, that even if you're familiar with these stories, that you're going to hear them in a completely different way when you see them and hear them paired with this pop music.
Yeah, and I actually think that's true of our own lives as well, that when we think about our past or we're reflecting on our past, we don't want to get stuck there. But I think that there's something very spiritually significant in that it is our history and it is our past, and therefore we are the meaning makers of our own past. And so we have the ability to look back on our own stories and to come up with new meanings, to reinterpret our past, to reframe our past, and use it to continually learn more about ourselves, to look back and plumb the depths of our history to bring out something new about who we are and what we've experienced and who we've connected to. Mm-hmm. And so while we can look at our scripture story again and again, I think we can also look at the history of our own lives again and again and continually make new meaning.
That's right. Yeah, that's interesting.
And I also think it's just really cool that we look to these spiritual ancestors from thousands of years ago. When we think of something like the book of Ruth, we're talking several millennia that have passed. And to know that our human struggle is still the same, there's something I think really comforting in that, and that allows scripture to be more relevant to us when we realize these people struggled with the same things that we still struggle with or encounter today.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, we're really looking forward to it. We hope you are as well. We hope that this series is fun and different and brings some new thoughts and ideas to the table.
Yeah.
And live music is happening at Brunch Church this Sunday.
Yes, so our guest artist who's going to be playing this pop music is one of our favorites, Marie. And so she's going to be at the 10 o'clock, and then she'll be playing live music at Brunch Church as well. Our chefs are doing breakfast burritos and pancakes this week. And so
excited.
Yeah,
I
again,
love a good breakfast burrito.
That's one of your go-tos.
It is.
Yeah. So if you haven't checked out Brunch Church and you want a breakfast burrito and live music, definitely come for that. And it's also graduation Sunday. Yep. We're saying farewell to Pastor Laurel. And so it's just a busy full Sunday like it is every week.
Every week, I know.
And so we can't wait to worship with you.
We'll see you Sunday.
Bye-bye.